on your phone, on your laptop, in your bathroom.
We should be broadcasting live right now on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook. This is a bit of a test. We'll see what happens. This isn't anything that we're not looking for any listener engagement right now, other than maybe if you say, yeah, we see you, that would be good. But really, this is just to make sure that the technology works, because we have a show coming up tomorrow. Hey, Brian Jepson. Hey, fellas. Well, hello to you.
Somebody's watching.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brian has no life.
Nice.
Oh, what did you just do?
What did I do? Did I do something?
Oh, wait a minute. I've got the stream up over here. I want to get rid of that stream.
Got the stream on up over here.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Brian Jepson says, hey, fellas. Oh, wow. We got all kinds of people. Hi, RFR. Live RFR. Nice. Yeah, we're testing this, guys. So
Testies.
We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, with a live reaction show, including your calls, breaking down all of the news that came out of D23. So this is just, like I said, test the tech and kind of give you a sense of what to expect tomorrow with the RFR live show. Jim, it runs the gamut. I mean, they started off really strong on Friday night with the Disney Plus panel, and it was a tough act to follow Saturday. We knew what was coming Saturday, but I would say, and I want to leave a lot of this for the show, but when you've got the rollout of that brand new platform, and they're starting as strong as they are with The Mandalorian, and they threw in something I was not expecting. I was not expecting to see Diego Luna there with some promotion on the Cassian Andor series. And then to top it all off, of course, the moment everyone was waiting for, and I would say a moment that was not topped for the rest of D23, and that was when Kathleen Kennedy brought out Ewan McGregor for that announcement.
We had no question that it was the announcement was coming. We didn't question that at all. It was just, will it happen at D23? Will all the paperwork get finished, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed in time for the big event? And wow, what a big splash. I mean, huge. And it really gets you thinking about what direction they can take that story in. They've already made it clear it's going to be happening post Revenge of the Sith. Well, we already pretty much figured that out. But it will be happening at some point near the end of the Solo timeline. So,
yeah, right.
Solo covers that period between, 10 years? It's about a decade-long stretch of time that covers on the Star Wars timeline. So I believe Kenobi is supposed to be happening maybe 5 to 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. So we're definitely going to be getting the guy hanging with the Jawas and the Krayt dragons and all that good stuff. I mean, the possibilities are endless for a story like that. Will they bring back Darth Maul? Will they bring back the Crimson Dawn? I think so, yeah.
I think so, too. I mean, the official news release that was put out at StarWars.com actually has the Kenobi series taking place 8 years post.
8 years.
8 years. So you're absolutely right. That puts it in the latter part of the Solo timeline.
Right on. And I believe the Kenobi series itself is going to be something of a content dump for all the pre-production work that went into both the Solo film and a Solo sequel and the Kenobi film that we know that was being under development for a time, even though it wasn't officially announced. Same thing with the Boba Fett film. I think elements of that are going to land squarely into The Mandalorian. And also there's the character Cobb Vanth. Do you remember us talking about that character, Jason? No. This character emerged in the Aftermath novel trilogy. And it was... Yeah. The Wind Egg. But, I think that those novels were given a certain outline by story group folk who were taking elements of the Boba Fett standalone film, feeding those to the author, and then insisting on their placement within that book trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is a Mandalorian sheriff on the planet Tatooine in a frontier outpost called West Town, I want to say. Yeah, I'm trying to remember off the top. Oh, Freetown. That's it. Freetown.
Okay.
And it just seems like it has some elements of things that we're going to see come into play in The Mandalorian. So whether or not the Mandalorian himself, his name's going to be Cobb Vanth.
No, I think he's going to be just the Mandalorian. I wonder how long can they go?
No.
How long can they go without a name?
Well, they said in the panel or in one of the interviews, it was revealed that he does have a name. So we'll find out what his name is.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be a big plot thing? Like, ooh, this is the episode when you learn his name.
I think the tease might be out there that like people will be mistaking him for Boba Fett, both within like the viewership and within the universe.
Yeah.
He'll be on Tatooine. I think it's clear he's on Tatooine because in the teaser poster you see a sandcrawler, you see moisture evaporators.
Yep.
And we know Jawas are going to be in it because there's been an image of a Jawa or a couple of Jawas that I've seen online. I'm still kind of soaking in a lot of the material that dropped this weekend.
Yeah. You think that Nolte story about being an Ugnaught might actually be a Jawa? Think that might be somebody getting their wires crossed?
No, I don't think so because we saw concept art of an Ugnaught last week. Of an Ugnaught with some sort of beast of burden.
That's right. Yes.
Sort of resembled, a shock from the planet Naboo, something like that.
Yeah.
Again, I give this stuff my full analysis. I'm sort of casually soaking in all this stuff. I got to be honest with you, it was really very exciting this past weekend as the news was dropping about The Mandalorian and, of course, Episode 9 and the Kenobi thing. It was just exciting to follow it online. I just wish they didn't spoil the reveal for everyone about Rey with the double-bladed lightsaber.
Right.
You know, that's such a massive reveal. And
it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense from a PR standpoint when you have that critical moment. And even if you were saying, well, we want to give the people there at D23 something special, they're still seeing something special. None of that stuff was streamed officially when it was going on. They were still seeing the actors. They were still getting an inside peek. And honestly, you know, people are calling it a trailer. It really wasn't a trailer. And the rumors going into Saturday. What?
That was a trailer.
That was not a trailer.
We'll call it that sizzle reel, but to me,
a sizzle reel. That wasn't a trailer.
It's a trailer. It builds up the end of the saga. We're starting to see the marketing now slide into place.
That was teaser number 2. That was no trailer.
Yeah, right. Teaser number 2. Hey, lady. Yes, you'll find, ladies and gentlemen, in the viewing audience that actually listening to me go through a show unedited, you're going to hear my tongue get tied a lot because I think my brain moves at a different speed than my mouth or vice versa.
Yeah, there's no taking this into the RFR Sound Labs.
Yeah.
It's out there.
That's something I'm going to have to get used to. This could be a whole different experience doing shows via YouTube. And I don't think, Jason, we've fully strategized how we're going to approach this. Whether it's going to be part of the weekly show or if these are just going to be specials on their own.
Yeah.
Or maybe this will be a weekly show on its own. Maybe we'll do 2 weekly shows.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. One thing's for sure, there's no shortage of content. There's no shortage of Star Wars news, information, commentary, analysis, all the things that people tune into Rebel Force Radio for each and every week and have done for 14 years. Well, at least us as Star Wars podcasters for 14 years.
We're going
RFR,
into the 14th year.
Is it going into the 14th?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's right. It was Labor Day. It was Labor Day 2007.
Six.
That's
I
what
wasn't even
said.
on the team yet, and I remember the anniversary.
Labor Day. Well, you do, because you were waiting on your firstborn, weren't you? Or secondborn?
No. He was secondborn. Was already 4 years old by that point.
Oh, wait a minute.
I was waiting on the birth of my podcast child, and the arrival of my podcast.
Why were you burning the podcast onto CDs? Oh, you had a commute. It was a big commute.
I had a commute, and I didn't have an iPod.
That's right.
But I had an access to an unlimited supply of CDRs. I still am working on some of that supply. As a matter of fact, I think this is all that's really left from that supply. These white labels.
Those go back to 2006. Look at that.
Oh, easily, yes.
I was confusing your beginnings with Star Wars podcasting with the build up to episode 1. Two very, very big, important moments in your life.
Oh, the biggest. But the road to me doing Star Wars podcasts definitely begins in the radio stations for me. Because for years I tried to get a CBS radio Star Wars special off the ground. I tried for episode 1. They weren't biting. I tried for episode 2 and had friends in management. And they gave me the red light still. And then I begged them, and they finally said, okay, just do it. And so I went to Indianapolis to Star Wars Celebration 2, and I recorded a bunch of stuff, and I was prepping it, and the guy who gave me the green light left the company. And
I mean, that's how it is in radio, though. I mean, as soon as you think...
I was already into the editing process.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's clearing out his desk. And the last thing I was going to say is, what about the Star Wars show? Is that still going to happen? You know, this guy's trying to think about how he's going to feed his family.
Right.
So then the new guy didn't like me at all. Uh-huh. And I almost quit radio that year. And that was the 1 year of my life I felt fully depressed, that I had no direction. And I was going to leave radio and go work for a Borders bookstore that was opening in my neighborhood. Yeah. I'm glad I stuck with...
This really just took a downward turn all of a sudden. I'm so depressed. I know that it has a happy ending, but still.
Well, no, Billy Mack actually talked me out of it. He's like, Borders Books, because Bill was working for a Border competitor, Walden Books. He goes, Border Books, what do you want to work there for? And I said, I don't know. It just would be nice to just walk to work and not have so much pressure all the time. He goes, no pressure. You haven't dealt with the public in a long time, have you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, the customers, they're going to drive you insane. You're going to snap. He goes, what did you do at work today? I said, me? He goes, yeah, you. I said, well, we had Billy D. Williams in the studio, and then a bunch of girls from Hooters brought up wings. He goes, you want to leave that to go work in books? Yeah, sure, man. You know, well, you're crazy. And then I was like, yeah, I stepped back.
Yeah, you don't want to. Those of you who have straddled in life from the real job to, the fun job, once you've had a fun job, you don't ever want to go have a real job again. You really don't. I did that once.
I was burning out, and I wasn't doing exactly what I wanted to be doing at the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, shortly afterwards, I discovered podcasting.
To bring it back around.
Yeah, you and Pete were doing the podcasting, and I finally did get the green light once again. I had my final opportunity was episode 3, and the manager who left the company, he returned and replaced the guy who hated me. Crazy. I work in the craziest freaking industry you could imagine. And he was now loading up his office again, and I kicked the door in and I said, Star Wars show. Yes, yes, yes. And so it happened.
There it is.
And that was the first time I did any sort of like broadcasting, Star Wars on my own. And I went to Indianapolis and I talked to so many people. Ula.
Well, that was the first piece of audio you provided for us.
Was Ula.
Was the Femi Taylor interview.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And I talked to, it was so long ago. Oh, I sat down with Dave Prowse, and he gave me a nice 10, 15 minutes. Jeremy Bullock, Matthew Wood. I didn't know any of these people. I just went up to them, and it was very easy back then. The autograph hall was open and accessible to anyone. Nowadays, everyone's behind,
They're tented now.
Tons of queues, and they're all behind curtains. They're all behind curtains.
Right.
Yeah, I think I even talked to a young Daniel Logan, age 14.
Wow.
Who could predict the history me and him would have together over the years?
I think I might have. Have some sort of idea. All right, we promised we were gonna. Oh, it was trying to focus on what the guys are saying, but I'm studying Jason's shelf in the background. Yeah, that's a whole hodgepodge over there. One of these days, when we do one of these shows, I'll create some more light back here, and you can see what I got going on. But anyway, we said we would take it to the top of the hour. This is, if you're tuning in, this is just a test of some new technology we have here in the Rebel Force Radio arsenal. We are going to be back live tomorrow night. That is Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, a live show where we'll be taking your calls to get your reaction of all the news that came out of D23. We'll have some audio highlights and all kinds of stuff. Oh, look, Wendy Snyder dropping by.
Oh, no. Busted.
Wendy dropping by. See, this is how she's going to be able to keep tabs on you.
Yeah. She'll be like, keep it down.
Yeah.
You.
So this was great. Thank you all for tuning in. We didn't pre-announce it. Someone asked if we had pre-announced this on Patreon. We did not. We didn't even really pre-announce this to ourselves, to be honest with you. We've been talking about it for a while. I've been doing some tests and finally got Jim to agree to it. Says, you guys got to do this more often. So many times I wish I could jump in. Well, maybe you'll get your chance. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Like I said, tune in Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, Rebel Force Radio live with calls covering D23. See you soon.
Later.